Hello, it's Borders Dude here. I'm back with another Transformers video, and today, as you can see, I am looking at the recently released Leader Class Siege Ultra Magnus. Now, when it comes to Ultra Magnus figures, they seem to go for one type of blue, either a light or a dark blue, and they went for the dark blue this time around for this Magnus figure. And hey, I'm fine with that, because he's one of my favourite characters and I try and get as many Ultra Magnus figures as I can. Of course, he does come with the usual Ultra Magnus tropes, that off-white and the red as well. Plus there's a wee hint of silver going on there, along with the dry brushing, war-torn damage look, which I quite like myself. Now, we're just going to take a closer look at Ultra Magnus by zooming in to the robot mode. And here we go, let's take a look at that face sculpt. I'm going to get a little bit closer as long as it focuses. And I think that's a brilliant looking face sculpt for Ultra Magnus. It's very young looking, which is different. You know, it's usually a sort of gruff looking Ultra Magnus you get these days, but I quite like this young looking face sculpt. You can see on the smokestack there, there's, you know, some QC issues with the paint, as well as some paint bleeding just at the bottom of the smokestack, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world on this figure. It's bound to happen. Just going down now and just taking a look at the war-torn damage on his chest. It's actually nicely done. There was, you know, quite a few of these figures when I was picking them up at my local store, and this is the one I chose, so I guess this was the best looking one. But there's so much detail going on in this figure. They really have done quite well with the moulding. I really like it. Nicely done. There's been thought to this, even where they have placed the dry brushing. It looks rather excellent and lovely. Now, taking a look at the back, there's not as much going on with them, which isn't, you know, the end of the world, because you're not going to display your figures with their back turned. You can see part of his alt mode there, and again, it's all the attention, the paint's clearly wet to the front, which is fine with me, but I guess you'll see what all this robot kibble does very shortly. Now, before we get on to Ultra Magnus' articulation, let's take a look at the accessories that you get with him. Let's start off with the silver blaster first of all, which is lovely, done with the red hilt, or handle I guess, not hilt, that's a sword. He also comes with two of these black blasters, which aren't wanting to focus, which isn't a surprise, but there we go. And also does have a silver barrel. And of course you do get his traditional shoulder missile launchers, done with the red missile and the off-white launcher with some lovely detail. Okay, when it comes to articulation for Ultra Magnus, we get a head on a ball joint, so you get the full 360 motion. The arms are full 360 as well. There is a bicep cut. You get a bend at the elbow and the wrists do twist. Also, you get some waist articulation. The leg, or rather, well, the leg joint is ratcheted. Just the hip ratchet is the one. You get bend at the knee, and you also get the coveted ankle tilt. But that's it for articulation with this figure, because let's face it, he is quite hench. Let's get on to the transformation now. Size comparison time now. Here we have Siege Voyager Optimus Prime, Power of the Prime's Barrel Trap, and Masterpiece Wheeljack, just to give you an idea of the size of Leader Class Ultra Magnus. He's definitely not as big as Leaders used to be, but that really doesn't matter. So let's get Ultra Magnus transformed. Now, of course, there is another robot mode that comes with Ultra Magnus, which I'll show you just now, and basically it's going to involve taking off all this wonderful armour that makes Ultra Magnus Ultra Magnus. A lot of it's just literally a case of popping it off. Some of it is tabbed into place and does sit quite snugly, so you have to get a bit of force in there to pop it off, which isn't ideal, but it's good in a way. I suppose it locks everything in quite secure. While it scrapes across my table, there we go. The portion at the back is tabbed in. There we go. You can see what's happening now. You have to be very gentle here, just by ripping that piece off. You can definitely see that there is another robot mode underneath here. And the good thing is that, like I've said, the armour does indeed stay in quite nicely. Just a case of sliding them off, and again banging the crap out of my table. Let's try it. There's nothing gentle and subtle about removing this armour. Now he is missing his head, but that's easily solved. Just have to pop the arms back. Here we go. Head is revealed. Get this bit at the back. Slide up the bar, just like that. Pop the bar back, it just clicks lovingly into place. And the final touch is just swapping the cross. And once all the armour pieces are off, you get the additional figure, which is this guy, a white Optimus Prime. This to me isn't Ultra Magnus, and this is not how I see Ultra Magnus, but what I do like is that it harkens back to the Generation 1 toy days, and you get this lovely clear see-through plastic, which is a lovely touch. But the colour scheme doesn't change too dramatically from the original Generation 1 toy. It's all white with the Autobot logo, and of course the blue faceplate and the blue crown on his head. Alright, I'm going to jump to him fully transformed into the armoured carrier mode now. And here he is, all complete and transformed. And when it comes to transformation, it's quite simple. The only thing you need to watch out for is just getting all the parts tabbing in together and just making sure everything lines up in place, or it won't sit quite flush on the transformation. Definitely RID Ultra Magnus inspired, but looks really cool. Those sort of chrome wheels now showing do well. Of course, that's just his legs. At the back, not a lot of paint there apart from where he already had paint, but lovely looking alt mode. Again, I really like it. You can't obviously carry any figures inside, but you can pop a few legend scale figures on the top there if you wish when it comes to displaying him in his alt mode. But I really dig the alt mode. And of course you can add in all his weapons to armour him up even more when it comes to the alt mode if you wish, and you can also hide them as well just by flipping them down, which is an option there for you. There's nowhere to really put that gun, I guess, so it just kind of sticks out there if you want to keep all his weapons stored in his alt mode. That's my look at Ultra Magnus, and do I recommend him? First of all, absolutely. It's a brilliant figure. Yeah, he's not as big as we'd expect from leader scale figures, but the plastic quality is definitely upped on the Siege line, and he is a little bit more weighty than, say, a Titan's Return leader class blaster was. So I recommend that you do pick him up, and of course I'm going to say that because I am, as I mentioned before in my previous video, an Ultra Magnus mark. He's definitely my favourite character, at least iterations of him as G1-esque Ultra Magnus, not that white Prime. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you for supporting the channel. I've had a few new subscribers come on board. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the support that I get from new and old subscribers. It really helps me continue on with this channel and give me that motivation. Thanks again, and of course, as always, please be excellent to each other.